June 7th, 2024. That day might be one of the most anticipated dates in the relatively short history of Path of Exile. It's the confirmed first day of PoE 2's beta. What will the beta entail? How will we access it? What can we expect between now and then? That's right, my fellow exiles. It's time to gaze into the past to anticipate what's going to happen in the future. It's time for some Path of Exile 2 speculation. Plenty of time has passed since the Path of Exile 1 beta periods. Since then, we've seen plenty of game betas, such as the extremely recent Diablo 4 beta and the ongoing Last Epoch beta or early access period. Neither of these will be similar to Path of Exile 2's beta. Instead, it's going to be far more similar to Path of Exile's own beta, which ran from 2011 to 2013. Who in Ray class knows how long PoE 2's beta will last? Essentially, Triple G is going to open up the entire game to testing. This means we're not going to get a tiny slice to preview like in Diablo 3's hopeful beta access period. We're not going to get the first act and area like in Diablo 4's either. We're also not going to get an entirely unfinished game like in Last Epoch's long in development beta. Instead, we'll get to play all 6 acts and the endgame, which will initially consist of maps. However, it's up in the air whether or not some of each act will be inaccessible. For example, during Path of Exile 1's Fall of Oriath beta, some of the act bosses could not be fought as Triple G sought to keep the launch experience completely untarnished. Everything else though, the 36 Ascendancy classes, testable. The brand new item and crafting system, in the beta. The importance of weapons swapping, there. The completely revamped gem and gem cutting system, we're gonna get it. Then there's the new weapons, the brand new classes, and all the other secret additions, changes, and updates to the core PoE 1 experience that PoE 2 will bring. I hope you're as excited as I am for the Path of Exile 2 beta. However, it's still not entirely clear how us exiles will be able to access it. The best path to prediction is definitely what Triple G has done in the past for betas, and a bit of sacred community knowledge as well. Back in the initial Path of Exile 1 beta, players could access it in a few different ways. One, you could of course just be invited. If you were a content creator, active on discussion boards about ARPGs or PoE, or just plain lucky, you could get an invite. That's likely how big names like Zizarin, Mathel, and Quinn69 will get into the PoE 2 beta, if they'd like to. Then there was the infamous PoE beta key picker on the PoE website. It would randomly select a player to give a beta code to. Of course, Triple G could take this approach again. Us exiles love to participate in lotteries, after all. And finally, you could buy access to the beta by purchasing a supporter pack. You would be provided with a select number of beta keys depending on the tier you purchased, with the lowest cost supporter pack, the $10 pack, granting you a single early access key. Other packs would come with way more, allowing the high spenders to grant access to all their friends if they wanted to. There are 2 paths Triple G could take with PoE 2's initial beta. I'm inclined to think they'll go with the monetized one, given how expansive the beta will be and what a huge opportunity it would be for Triple G to make some money. There are new core supporter packs upcoming. I posit these packs will come with PoE 2 beta access. Additionally, I've heard from a few unnamed sources that players who have purchased supporter packs recently may also be selected to participate in the beta. Truly, this is probably the path Triple G will take. They could also be incredibly based and just make the entire beta open to the public. This is probably not going to happen with the initial PoE 2 beta. That'll come a bit down the line when they're ready to copy Blizzard and commit to a true marketing beta when most of the big bugs have been squashed. I'm really hoping I'll have beta access, even if I haven't been able to buy a supporter pack in quite some time. I'll just need to grind away on the content creation side between now and then. Chris, do you see me? There are 7 months between today and the opening of the Path of Exile 2 beta gates. Undoubtedly, there's going to be a massive flow of information from the brilliant minds at Triple G to us, the common folk. If I were to guess, this is what the next months will look like. The November livestream will discuss the Ascendancy classes coming in Path of Exile 2, as well as how we'll be able to access the beta. We know we're getting more info about PoE 2 during this livestream. We won't see anything new in December. In January, they'll release a few videos discussing Path of Exile 2's endgame system, which will begin with maps. That is also confirmed. February will be dark. March will have another PoE 1 expansion livestream, and we'll get further details on the new mercenary class and more about how weapons are changing in PoE 2. April and May will be packed with information and hype leading into the June 7th, 2024 beta launch date. Truly, I think they'll go all out on this, posting little teasers as they usually do for new PoE 1 leagues. This is their absolute chance to hook the largest audience in Path of Exile history. They're not going to waste that opportunity. Tell me, do you have a different opinion on how us exiles will join the massive Path of Exile 2 beta? Am I dead wrong on all fronts? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed it, fellow exile. And here's an even bigger shout out to everyone who supports me on Patreon and through a YouTube membership. I'll be keeping the PoE and Beyond content coming as we dash toward 3.23 and PoE 2. Please check out these other videos. I have an inkling you'll enjoy them. Tala Moana.